Okay. I'm sorry about that. The weather, Mother Nature, she said, well, why you even telling them they not gonna listen? So, I just had to calm her down a little bit. She cut off my phone. Um, so I'm back. And yes, I just moved in, so now I have to get all of the art stuff. I'll get to it. But anyway, um, the point for that video and where I'm going with this now is just mainly I think that a lot of the stuff that we complain about, we're actively contributing to, we're causing, and I think that it's fixable. And I am here to say all of the stuff that nobody else wants to say because they're being nice. And I'll say it in a nice way, and I'm smiling and waving as I say it. Success, there's layers to it, and I think that we need to let one another smile when we talk to each other. The gender wars, the uh, the SES wars that we have within ourselves, we don't have time for that. If we look at black culture as one person, it would look crazy for us to talk to us. Like, do you say all of this stuff that you say to other people in the mirror? But the version of it from you. Because let's just, let's think about this. If you are a person with a degree, right? And you feel like now that makes you better than people who don't. It makes you better suited for a specific portion of the culture that we need. But everybody doesn't have to have a degree. So if your reason for getting that degree was to stunt on other people, you still not using it for what it was designed for. If you don't want to come back to the community to help black people out with said degree, then you're still not using it in a way that we have to care about. We don't have to care. If you don't care about us, we don't have to care about you. So you are essentially still being useless, at least to us. So if we're not using you, then another culture would, because you are not allowed to use yourself. So do you go to the mirror every morning and do you tell yourself, well, that degree means nothing? Because when I see you say that to someone who has no degree, that's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to people who are not black. It looks like you're arguing with yourself. If anybody should understand why they don't have a degree, it should be us. And I know I'm going to get some pushback. That's retarded. That's not the right answer. That doesn't make any sense. Yes, it does if you're thinking appropriately. Because, okay, well, imagine someone in the mirror telling you that. That's what it looks like when we think about black people all together. I'm not saying we have to be a monolith. My left hand does not do the same job as my right hand. But I need both of them. If you take one, I'm going to be messed up for a while. But then I'll figure it out. But, that's not the point. If you're one gender and you're talking crazy to the other gender, do you go in the mirror in the morning and pretend that someone is saying those things to you? Do you say those things to yourself? I think that for right now, I'm not saying we have to think of one another as ourselves forever. I don't see a problem with that. But, okay. But for right now, in 2019, if you're whining and complaining about where we are in the world, that's why. That's what other people see. They see it as no matter what you think. Because let's just be honest. They are not telling you that they don't respect you because they see how you treat the other gender of your culture. They're not telling you that they don't respect you because they see how you treat one another. Do other races do it? Only one culture does. Well, I mean, other cultures, they have their opinions, but it's not on such a grand scale as it is for us. We're a loud, expressive culture. Everything we do is going to be amplified. Everything we do is going to be all across media. It's just what it is. So knowing that, the highs are amplified, but so are the lows. Our fighting and our arguments are always going to be on a public platform. Are you actually angry because you feel like that makes us look bad to argue within our culture? Other cultures argue within each other. It's just not amplified because they're quieter about it. We are not a quiet people. I'm okay with it. People know that. I mean, I don't see a problem with making noise. What's the point? I don't live in some, quiet bubble. That would get boring. I would lose my mind if everything had to be the same and quiet and just beige all the time. I can't handle it. So I don't see a problem with it. And if you're a quiet person and you're in this culture, then okay, you can be quiet. We can accept that. Quiet people are usually doing something. They're either doing something for themselves or either they're noticing something that we're going to need later on. Everybody has a point. Everybody has a place. So all of the arguments that we do within each other, it looks like an internal conflict if we are thinking about each other as part of the same whole, part of the same existence. Whether you feel that way or not, that's what we are. Everyone outside of us treats us that way, just like we treat other cultures that same way. It's a lot of hypocritical things that black people want. And you know what? If we're going to be a culture where we feel like, yes, we can, but you can't, oh well, then okay. Then accept that. And know the consequences that come with that and be ready for it and be accepting and understand that that's part of it. So if you guys want to keep continuously arguing and dividing ourselves within each other, at some point, we're all going to be individuals, and then you'll start dividing yourself because there's nothing else to divide. So if you can stop then why not stop now? If there's a boundary where, okay, once it's just you alone, no spouse, no kids, no nothing, and then you would stop dividing things, what are you going to like, oh, well, my left side of my body is better than my right because of whatever? So if you can stop then, that means you have the capability of stopping now. You just don't want to. You're choosing to keep going, in which case I don't have to respect you. Because you're literally telling me that you could, but oh well, no. There is a reason why we need to stop fighting and arguing right now. What I don't like is when people go around saying, oh, y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to wake up. But you do realize that there are parts of life that you're asleep about too. And so am I, but I'm at least, attempting to wake up on all aspects. Some things I'm not waking up on purpose because when I am awake and I see the interactions that I interact with other black people, it's disheartening. It's hurting. It hurts. I do a lot of talking with teens. For whatever reason, teens love me, and I love them back. Kids love me, and I love them back. When I'm out and I'm up and about, you'll most likely find a whole lot of younger people around me. But who do I talk to the most? Older generations. And I don't mean like the ones that are in their golden years. I mean like my second group of favorite people to talk to is the ones that's almost on their way out, the dying population. Because they got a lot of stuff to say. And I want to hear all of it. And I think it's useful. I love talking to them. See, the ones that are still spry and spunky in their golden years, they out here, living their best golden years and gray-haired life. They still got too much, you could feel the holdback. I still don't fully trust everything they got to say, but the ones that are older than them, their parents that are still here, the ones that's like out like 90, like they have nothing to lose. They're definitely going to tell you everything that is true, and I want to hear all of it. And think about it. Who is 90 at this moment? That's been me throughout my entire life. You'll find me either with babies or the extreme elderly. I don't know why. It's just a thing. So I love hearing what they have to say because there is no punch held. They just throw it out there. You do whatever you're going to do with it. And I love that. So, those are my two favorite groups of people that you'll find me around. I feel like if like that's when you get the most honest. They know that there is nothing that they can do to prolong their life. And they wake up every day astonished that they still here. It's like, oh yeah, well I guess it's some more stuff I need to tell y'all. Well, and so I love that. The point for me saying all of this is that they have one thing in common. They see this division that we're doing, and they both, the younger group, the youngest, they see the division and they're using it to make decisions in their lives. They're using it to tell themselves how to feel, how to navigate the world. Do we want them to say that arguing with other black people is normal, that it's natural, that it's even necessary? Because it's not. It's not necessary. You are fooling yourself. It is not essential. You don't have to. You're choosing to. Be an adult and say, yes, I'm making this choice. The elder population, they see it as me, and they're fed up. They're tired. They're done. They're ready to go. They don't want to talk to us no more. They're over it. They're using it for their rationale to leave. I would rather them leave because they feel like they did a job well done, not because I'm giving up. Now, is that in other cultures? I haven't seen it. The leaving generation in other cultures, they get it. They understand why the people their age are doing what they do. They may have one or two specific individuals that they feel like just are not doing what they're supposed to do, but they don't like kick them out the culture. They accept the fact that, yeah, okay, so we got a 97. It's 3 people in this whole city that are just, fuck it. They're going to do whatever they want to do. I'm not going to argue with them because it's way less. That's something that the other cultures have in common that we don't. Things that can't be argued. Now, I don't know which side we're going to actually pick, but I am saying that whichever side we pick, understand that there are going to be some people that are still on the other side, and that doesn't mean that it's wrong. That doesn't mean that we should stop going. What I like about our culture is it's a lot of variety. It's a lot of different things. And there's a place for all of it. All of this can fit together. We don't have to all be the same, but what we do have to do is let go of these stupid arguments. So, back to the point of this video, right? Success. Yes, I call myself successful overall. Certain categories I didn't win in. Certain categories I didn't win in yet. Certain categories I won. Some categories I won, but, I'm not maintaining it. Whatever. But if you tell kids that everything less than perfection is wrong, what would your response to that be? We just need to be more rational. We need to be paying attention. You can't make human nature what you want it to be. Just because you want something, just because you think that that's what's best, doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. When people are left to their own devices, there are specific tendencies that happen to have a higher mode. They happen in a higher frequency. There's a reason for that. At the base of our entire existence is nature and how we interact with the universe as it stands. Certain things we've done to the planet and the universe. And so the way we are born now no longer fits into that. We either can stop doing certain damaging things, or adapt and don't damage things anymore. So, in conclusion, the point for all of this: yes, I consider myself a success. Yes, I tell kids that I am successful. And I think you should too, just like I'm going to tell people that you are successful as well. Because I think that would free up everybody to find their passion and a thing that they can make profitable. Way different concept. If we want our kids to have more marriages, not just weddings, marriages, create more families, to have more careers, that may or may not require a degree. And it's different than a job, and there's nothing wrong with jobs if another area of your life is where you put the most of your priority, because everybody can't be a business owner. But if you have a 9 to 5 job, it might be minimum wage, right? That's still necessary to keep that business going. It's still appreciative and valuable. It's still successful. And why? Because they might be putting some other life area in a higher priority. Let's say that this person has a family and they view spending time with your kids as more important. The kids in that family are going to survive, and that's going to be their foundation. And they get to choose as an adult whether they want to do the same thing with their kids or whether they want to do the opposite because they wanted something different. What if the person doesn't have any family and they're just living life and they just are having a fun time? That's fine unless and until they start hurting other people. If you're having a minimum wage job and you're focused on fun in your life, right? You don't have a spouse or any kids. If you have other friends that value that as well, there's nothing wrong with you guys coming together, getting it how you live. You just can't make me accept it. You can't make me do it. But I also don't have the right to go up and tell you that you're wasting your life. Because you know what they are providing? Work for somebody who did want to own a business. It's still successful, and you know why? Because they're not in my house trying to lay on my couch asking me to pay their bills. Whether they have, like community programs and welfare and all of that or not, what difference does it make? You're going to pay for somebody. And that's a small portion out of your check versus the other stuff that comes out. I think people need to be a little bit more realistic. If you get rid of all of that, why are we not calling this person a success, right? Because we don't want kids to grow up and aspire to that. Well, see, that's the problem. You're trying to control what the kids grow up and aspire to instead of just letting them aspire, letting them find their way. You're trying to force them down a specific path because of something that you want. If they're not dying, if they're not hurting anybody else, you don't get to do that. And then you can free up that time and energy because that's not your responsibility. And then you wouldn't be so drained and miserable all the time, irritating me. That's what irritates me, not people living their life. Mm-mm. So I think that you should go out and call somebody a success because you don't know, like, we are born and we're given a name, right? I don't know if I believe in predestined things or not, but what I am saying is that we do need people to smile more, and I think that that's what the problem is. We stop each other from smiling. We stop each other from feeling content, tranquil, peace. Not everybody wants to feel joy. Not everybody wants to feel excitement. And if they do, they don't want to feel it at the same time as you. So, I guess that's all I have to say for today. Um, I don't know if this is common knowledge or not, but if you watch this video, you can never say no one told you. Bye.